Um, and then, oh, a couple years later or so, well, I guess it was around about the same time, I met my first ex-wife. uh, I've picked some winners, let me tell you. Um, and I don't know, I didn't tell her about any of this for a long time. Um, but when I did, she was pretty cool with it until she needed to put me in my place and make me feel bad about myself. And then all of a sudden it was creepy, and whatever other negative things she had to say to you know manipulate my emotions in order to have control over me, which is a sociopath, narcissist kind of thing, which I've have a history of choosing those type of women. But I gotta tell you, if you need someone to specifically find you a sociopathic woman for whatever messed up reason, yeah, get a hold of me. I can seem to pick them for some reason. So, but you know, she did support me at times and get involved at times. Although after we got divorced and I floated around single for a little while, she wanted to come back into my life and used diapers as a way to do so. And um, she was definitely more into it then, trying to get me back. And then I don't know. At some point, I met this woman who was, I don't know, a few years younger than me, a couple of years, and we hooked up and started a relationship. And at some point along the way, I told her about all this, and she was like, "That's fine if that's who you are and that's what you want to do, but I will not be involved. I don't want anything to do with it." And her aversion to it was so bad that she wouldn't even like cuddle with me in bed if I was wearing. It was like, nope, you're on that side of the bed, I'm on this side. If wearing a diaper right now is that important to you, then my physical touch and attention is not that important to you. So it's kind of like a punishment kind of thing. Like I said, I have a knack for picking them. So, that went on for a couple years until her and I split up. And then my most recent ex-wife, who I briefly dated in high school, popped back into my life. And at that point in time, I'd actually been down this whole journey of this like whole psychological journey, from going from where I thought it was just a kink for the diapers to getting back into regressive behavior. And then because of the childhood trauma that I endured, having a severely psychologically abusive mother, I used it kind of more as a form of therapy to, rebuild my psyche and establish my own real identity for the first time in my life. Because my entire childhood, my identity was whatever my mother wanted it to be, and it would change at her whim. And So yeah, definitely some PTSD in there. So um, at this point in my life, or at that point in my life, I had viewed it as a form of therapy for the longest time, and I got to a point where I really didn't need it. I didn't have that need, that real deep emotional need to have a mommy anymore. I was good without it. Decided, well, hey, this thing has always caused you stress in relationships and stuff like that, and you know, you don't need it. It really isn't a need anymore. Yes, you still desire it, but it's not a need. So, yeah, just go on without it. And I was fine. I really was. Um, I probably could have gone the rest of my life, um, but during a conversation about being honest and things, and honestly, I was trying to get her to open up to me about who she was, um, on a deeper level. You know, I said, I'll tell you something. How about this? And I just threw it all out there, and I specified that, it's not something I'm engaging in anymore. I don't need it. It's just a part of my life, and I can leave it behind with no problem. And she said, no, 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 you should do that again. That's something that you really should do. And the next thing I know, she shows up at my house one day with actually these footy pajamas. She got them for me as a present, and some diapers that she'd ordered for me. And she diapered me and put these pajamas on me. And then, you know, things progressed. We got married. Um, the whole, and she did baby me. She was mommy. Um, she found Capcom. I had no idea that even existed. I didn't know TeddyCon existed. I didn't know about any of this stuff. She went out and found it. And um, she bought the tickets all 3 years that we went to Capcom, which was 2016, 2019, and 2020. Um, when it came to little space, little time, we didn't have a lot. She had a son from her previous marriage, and then we had a child together. So there wasn't really a whole lot of time to really get into little space. But, every once in a while she would come into the bedroom as we were getting ready for bed. She'd say, "You want me to put a diaper on you?" I said, "Okay." You know. So she normally was the one to initiate little time. I never really asked for it. I didn't want to impose on her, or burden her, because we had two children that we were raising. So, be the husband and not the baby. Be the man of dad and stepdad. So I wasn't gonna put that on her. So it was never really a problem. And up until about a week or a few days before she initiated her affair with this other guy, she one last time, came into the bedroom. "You want me to put a diaper on you?" And she would take off her shirt and hold me on her lap and nurse me. And she can tell anybody else whatever she wants, but she can't lie to me and tell me that she was tired of it, because her physical response definitely says otherwise. The problem was, is she's a sociopath, and It's not about any of that. It's about control. And that's, you know, eh, we got enough things to worry about, and I don't want to throw gas on the fire as far as things for adult babies to be afraid of. And you shouldn't be afraid, but you should go out and educate yourselves. We, because of the nature of our um, community, because not community, lifestyle, because of the natural tendencies of an adult baby, we are potentially more susceptible to sociopathic behavior because we have these desires that are taboo in our society. And a sociopath, if they get a hold of that, that's just like gold for them. It's like, hey, I can give this person something no one else is willing to give them, and I can have complete control. And so, on the one hand, yes, it's kind of a warning. Um, I know there's a lot of other little boys out there that are just dying to have a mommy, but you really have to be careful. Um, there are some insidious people out there, or a mommy or a daddy, or but I'm sure in the gay community that's probably um, not as taboo as it is in the straight community, because of our attitude towards straight men that and then straight women. I want a man, not a baby, not another child. So there's that stigma with us. But that along with the warning is instead of being afraid, get educated. Don't be afraid. Be educated. There's plenty of material out there on ways to spot these kind of predators. So definitely do that. So I hope that going forward my messages will be more positive. Also, I'm not showing my face because number one, I live in a very small rural community, and really people that are close to me really know who I am. I already know this about me. But just for the sake of my job, I work in a very small industry, and reputation is everything, unfortunately, in my industry. So, and also I do have another YouTube channel that I wouldn't want anybody to stumble across and you know create any kind of social media stank. So, well, for anybody that's watched, thank you. Like and subscribe. I am on Twitter, the same name, Indianapers, 1792. So, until next time, stay diapered.